The world mourns the heartbreaking loss of a music legend. Brian Wilson, the co-founder of the Beach Boys and an acclaimed songwriter whose innovative work transformed the sound of modern music, has passed away at the age of 82. His death comes after a long battle with dementia, more than 6 decades after he helped form what would become one of the most influential bands of the 20th century. The devastating news was shared on Wilson's official social media accounts by his children. In a deeply emotional statement, they wrote, "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father Brian Wilson has passed away. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world." The family did not disclose the specific cause of death or details about where Wilson passed away. However, it is known that in recent years, he spent much of his time living in a beautiful Beverly Hills estate, which he had purchased back in 1999. This luxurious 6-bedroom, 8-bathroom home, resting on a picturesque hilltop, provided Brian Wilson with beautiful views of Los Angeles. It was a far cry from his modest beginnings in Hawthorne, California, where Brian grew up alongside his brothers and future bandmates, Dennis and Carl. In their tiny family home, the 3 brothers shared a single bedroom. It was there, within the simple walls of that house, that the earliest seeds of the Beach Boys were planted. From a young age, Brian discovered his passion for music and began sharing it with his siblings, creating a bond that would change music history. During his high school years, Brian Wilson formed a group called the Pendletons with his brothers Dennis and Carl, his cousin Mike Love, and his friend Al Jardine. Eventually, this group evolved into the legendary Beach Boys. Long after their rise to fame, the group paid tribute to their roots by returning to Hawthorne High School to perform at the prom, a nostalgic moment that honored their early beginnings. As the Hawthorne Police Department notes on their website, the Beach Boys started as a clean-cut group of young boys from the small suburb of Hawthorne, California. Brian, Carl, and Dennis Wilson lived there until their teens, shaping many of the suburban fantasies that would later define their iconic music. The Wilson brothers had several local hangouts in Hawthorne, including Foster's Freeze, a popular hamburger stand where they saw the Thunderbird car that inspired their hit song, Fun, Fun, Fun. Today, Hawthorne honors the Beach Boys' legacy with a historical landmark at the site of the Wilson family's former home, though the house itself was demolished in the 1980s to make way for the Century Freeway. Despite the musical magic created within the Wilson household, it was not always a happy home. Reports over the years have described their father, Murray Wilson, who was also their music producer, as a strict and sometimes harsh presence. Various accounts have claimed that he was verbally and physically harsh toward his sons, though Murray denied these allegations in a 1971 interview with Rolling Stone. In 2024, a Disney Plus documentary revisited these claims, shedding more light on the complex family dynamics that shaped the Wilson brothers' early years. As the Hawthorne Police Department wrote in their description of the Beach Boys' historical landmark, the Wilson home commemorates hardship as much as success because the 3 brothers spent most of their time cowering from their strict father. Nevertheless, it was there, during Labor Day weekend of 1961, that the young musicians recorded their very first song, Surfin', alongside cousin Mike Love and friend Al Jardine, marking the official beginning of the Beach Boys. The loss of Brian Wilson has sparked an outpouring of tributes from friends, family, and fans around the world. Al Jardine, the band's rhythm guitarist and occasional lead vocalist, shared his heartfelt feelings in a statement. "I will always feel blessed that you were in our lives for as long as you were. I think the most comforting thought right now is that you are reunited with Carl and Dennis, singing those beautiful harmonies again. You were a humble giant who always made me laugh, and we will celebrate your music forever." Legendary musician Bruce Springsteen also paid tribute to Brian Wilson's extraordinary influence. Brian Wilson was the most musically inventive voice in all of pop, with an otherworldly ear for harmony. He was also the visionary leader of America's greatest band, the Beach Boys. If there'd been no Beach Boys, there would have been no racing in the street. Listen to Summer's Gone from the Beach Boys' last album, That's Why God Made the Radio, and weep. Farewell, Maestro. Nothing but love and a lovely lasting debt from all of us over here on E Street. Fleetwood Mac co-founder Mick Fleetwood shared his sorrow. Anyone with a musical bone in their body must be grateful for Brian's genius magical touch. I am greatly saddened by this major worldly loss. My thoughts go out to his family and friends. Brian Wilson's daughter, Carney Wilson, also expressed her grief on Instagram. I have no words to express the sadness I feel right now. My father was every fiber of my body. He will be remembered by millions and millions until the world ends. I am lucky to have been his daughter and had a soul connection with him that will live on always. I've never felt this kind of pain before, but I know he's resting up there in heaven. Or maybe playing the piano for Grandma Audrey, his mom. Brian is survived by his daughters from his first marriage, Carney and Wendy, who achieved success as members of Wilson Phillips, as well as 5 adopted children from his second marriage to Melinda Ledbetter. Mike Love, Brian's cousin and fellow Beach Boys founding member, offered his own touching words. Today, the world lost a genius, and I lost a cousin by blood and my partner in music. Brian Wilson wasn't just the heart of the Beach Boys. He was the soul of our sound. From the first time we sang together as kids in my living room, I knew there was something otherworldly in him. His musical gifts were unmatched. The melodies he dreamed up, the emotions he poured into every note. Brian changed the course of music forever. He continued, "Our journey together was filled with moments of brilliance, heartbreak, laughter, complexity, and most of all, love. Like all families, we had our ups and downs. But through it all, we never stopped loving each other, and I never stopped being in awe of what he could do when he sat at a piano or his spontaneity in the studio." Even Elton John, the iconic Rocketman singer, paid tribute to Wilson's lasting influence. "He was always so kind to me from the day I met him." He sang, "Someone Saved My Life Tonight," at a tribute concert in 2003, and it was an extraordinary moment for me. I played on his solo records, he sang on my album, The Union, and even performed for my AIDS Foundation. Brian Wilson's impact on music and culture is immeasurable. As the creative force behind timeless hits like Good Vibrations, God Only Knows, and Wouldn't It Be Nice, he revolutionized pop music with his intricate arrangements, lush harmonies, and emotional depth. His work on the album Pet Sounds is still considered one of the most influential and groundbreaking albums in music history. While his life was marked by both brilliant creativity and personal struggles, including battles with mental health, Brian Wilson's legacy remains one of resilience, genius, and an unbreakable love for music. As millions of fans around the globe continue to mourn his passing, they also celebrate the timeless beauty of his songs that have touched generations and will continue to do so for years to come. Thank you for joining us as we honored the incredible life and legacy of Brian Wilson. If his music has ever touched your heart, please take a moment to honor his memory by giving this video a like. Subscribe to our channel for more tributes and stories that celebrate the lives of iconic figures who have shaped our world. And feel free to share your favorite Brian Wilson memory or song in the comments below. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Your music lives on forever.